Hey everyone, Matt here. So today we're going to be taking a quick look at one of my favorite movies, which is Monster from 2003, starring Charlize Theron. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the movie, this actually is very loosely based on the true story of America's first real female serial killer, Eileen Wuornos. She was executed by the state of Florida after being found guilty of several murders. And this is a movie basically retelling her story. I hope everyone enjoys. For this location, we're going to enlist the help of Google Earth. We want to focus mainly on this big green patch of grass right where the pen is located. That's the former site of where they end up. So Eileen and the cop came down North Orange Avenue, turned onto East Jefferson, and turned into a parking garage right at this location, which is no longer there. But with the help of Google Earth, we can go back in time, and we can go back a few years, back to 2005, just after the movie, and we can see the building there. And if we go to a 3D view, we can get a little bit better view of what it actually looked like. Okay, so we can, down the bottom there, we can see the area where you would enter the building. So we're just off of Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida, and you can actually see that building in the background there with the sphere on it. You can see that out the back window of the car as the crooked cop drives down this road with Eileen in there. So they come right down here, and right around here you'll actually see this garage door in the background as they pull in right over this way to what was a building once when the movie was made. And as you can see now, there is not much left of it, but you can clearly see the area and some landmarks that were here then.
All you need is love and to believe in yourself. Nice idea. It doesn't exactly work out that way.
Okay, so this location is the former site of the Little Diamond Motel. This location looks quite different now, and we'll take a quick look using Google Earth as to see what it does look like from the air. So you can see that it looks like a fairly new developed area. This area here is the area that we're talking about. The area to focus on here is the main entrance for the hotel. And that's the one thing that's really remained constant here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put a marker right where that entrance is, just for the purpose of going back in time and being able just to see exactly where we were previously. After going back in time just a little bit, you can still see the entrance there. Not much else is there at this point, but we can still see what was the entrance. You can still see the sign for the motel there, and right over this direction is the location of the hospital. It has built up a bit since then. Going back just a little bit further and we can see the structure of the hotel, and back a little bit further and we can see the structure of the hotel a bit clearer, and even the pool. But the one thing that's remained constant is that entrance there, and we can still see the sign for the motel. And over this way, the hospital hasn't built up yet, but it's still very much over there. Now let's go back and look at it again in current time. And we'll go down to street level just to get a more recent view from the road. And we'll turn around a little bit, and now you can see what the location looks like relatively recently. And you can still see the hospital sign there. Cue the music. This one was a really difficult location to find because it looks so different. It's been developed and bulldozed and everything, but there's a few landmarks which make it able to be identified. So you can see our next location is the site of the car crash. And as we go a little bit closer, we can see that the intersection here has changed a bit over time. It's now a cul-de-sac, and you can no longer drive through there. But let's zoom in a little bit and take a bit of a closer look. And we'll go down to street view. So what we can see here is the remains of the road that they would have turned down and come down here into that ditch. And this is where the scene where the lady and gentleman run out of the house takes place. You take a little bit closer look at the house, you can really see that not a whole lot has changed with it.
Get out!
Bleep.
What? Are y'all okay?
Were they ever really okay?
Hey, no, yeah, we're fine.
Well, I guess they said they were fine. Can't quite say as much for that car though. Looks like it's had better days. Our next location takes us to South Orange Blossom Trail, and this is the site of Central Park Self-Storage. This is a location where Eileen has a storage locker which she keeps a lot of the belongings that she's stolen from the people she's killed. If you take a look here, you can see that the location hasn't changed too much. The gate's changed a little bit and there's been some paint changes, but other than that, not much has changed. Next location takes us to the roller skating rink, which was actually the site of several shoots throughout the movie. The first being where Selby and Eileen have a date together and do a little bit of roller skating and kind of come out for the first time. And the second being where Selby, aka Tyree, in real life was actually stood up. Now we'll just zoom in to street level and get a bit better view of the place. And just take a pan around the side there and then we'll zoom in. But you can see the roller skating sign. It looks very similar to how it does in the movie. And there's a now picture. So there we have it, the roller skating rink from the movie Monster. Final location on this little journey takes us to Port Orange in Florida to a place called the Last Resort Bar. Now this is one of the few locations that actually featured in the movie and was a real life location, and hasn't changed a whole lot. There's been some changes with some signs and things like that, but for the most part the establishment still remains the same. Now this area here is right around where Eileen was arrested in the movie. As far as where she was arrested in real life, I'm not exactly sure of that location. However, I would imagine it'll be somewhere around that spot.
Got Ricci for hitting Orlando tonight, so
So there we have it, folks. The last resort bar.